Micro Series, the making of Firecracker and Hondo Part 1. After the parts have been printed and separated, it's time to remove the supports and do some pre-assembly. This step makes sure everything fits together before it gets prepped and painted. It also identifies any broken or weak parts that need to be replaced. I will first work on the main body, gently removing the supports from the bed of the truck. I then work on the inside of the cab, making sure not to damage the steering wheel. The most delicate part of the main body is between the push bar and the front of the truck. Here, I am removing the supports between the seats and the back of the cab, making sure there is plenty of room when I place the top of the cab onto the frame. Now comes the delicate part, removing the supports between the push bar and the front of the truck. The push bar, or the lights on the push bar, can easily be snapped off. The supports have to be completely cleaned off so that the front of the cab shell will fit snugly in between. Now that all of the supports have been removed from the main body and nothing broke off, it is time to move on to the cab shell. The majority of the supports are where the sunroof is. There is a very small ledge that the sunroof sits on, so the supports have to be completely cleaned off. A little trimming on the front of the cab shell is required so that it will fit nice and snug onto the main body. Here is where we see if we removed all of the supports by placing the cab shell onto the main body. Well, it seems there was a remove support that didn't get dusted off. We'll start by putting the front of the cab shell between the push bar and the front of the main body. Then sliding the back of it over the back of the seat. To make sure it's a good fit, the front gets snapped into place first, and then pressing on the door frame will push the rest of the shell onto the frame. Since this is a good snug fit, then we need to clean out excess material where the axle will fit into. Here is where we put the spare tire on. Yes, this spare tire is removable, so that is a little secret bonus. It needs to be a snug, secure fit, so that it won't just fall off on its own. Don't want to rush this part or force it, because if the peg breaks off into the hole, then this whole truck is scrapped. Next, we need to clean off any excess material that may be on the bike rack. Since this is a very thin piece, we need to take our time. Most of the time, there isn't any excess material. However, it's always best to be safe. Okay, the truck is done, for now. Moving on to the dirt bike, the first dirt bike will be one that has fixed wheels. This dirt bike is the one that was listed in the ad. However, for all those that pre-ordered this, will be getting an additional dirt bike. This dirt bike will have wheels that roll. Just like on the truck, the supports need to be removed. This is a slow procedure since things can break off very easy when removing the supports. Now it comes to removing the supports in the bike mount slot. The bike mount and the slot on the dirt bike is an exact fit, so making sure every part of the supports in the slot is removed. Once the supports are cleaned out, it's time to make sure it fits onto the bike mount. Very little pressure will be needed to place the bike onto the mount. Otherwise, the mount will snap off. Onto the bonus dirt bike. Keep in mind that these parts are very small, and it doesn't take much to break them off. This is why it is a collector's piece and not a toy. Removing the supports on this bike is the same as the first bike. The biggest difference is adding the wheels onto the bike. It is necessary to make sure these wheels attach and roll before any further work is done. Now comes the most delicate part, adding the wheels onto the dirt bike. It is imperative that next to zero force is applied while moving the wheels into position. One wrong move and any of the bike forks can break off. If one of the forks breaks off, then it is 86 into the rubbish bin. Thank you for taking the time to watch part 1. Hope you can see what all goes into making awesome custom collectibles such as this micro firecracker. We will be adding the rest of the process as we go. Please visit our website, www.cfcbunlimited.com, or find us on Facebook, X, formerly Twitter, Instagram, and Rumble.